I've got the brand new, just released Freak Athlete Adjustable Kettlebell to review for you. Now, this is more of an overview because when I do reviews, I like to test something for at least a month. But in this case, I've gotten a number of workouts on it, and I know by putting the word review in the title that a lot of home gym Discord nerds, dweebs, are gonna be all bent out of shape. The No Fate channel? Checking in. Jonathan here with the Freak Athlete Adjustable Kettlebell review. Not a review, it's more like a first impressions. Now we all know kettlebells are the most basic home gym tool. It is a cannonball with a handle, but basic doesn't mean bad. Basic means effective. This thing is great for killing calories. Adjustable kettlebells are great because buying kettlebells individually can not only take up a lot of space in your home gym, but it gets expensive pretty fast. But up until this point, you had two options. You went with a lightweight plastic adjustable kettlebell that kind of worked, but was kind of clunky. Or you went with a full cast iron adjustable kettlebell that took forever to change the weight. Well, did Freak Athlete just flip the script? Has Freak Athlete solved all of the issues that people have been facing when it comes to adjustable kettlebells? And I think they came close. As far as time to change the weight, boom, you pull the rod out, put the rod back in, and Bob's your uncle. The engineers over at Freak Athlete have a pretty simple idea, but it's kind of ingenious when you think about it. You've got this ridge here, so when you slide the pin in, it is held on not only with friction because that force is going straight down, but you also get a little bit of a tip at the end of this rod that keeps it from backing itself out. Now, each of these plates has metal tips on the top, but they also have little holes on the bottom, allowing these to fit rather quickly and rather snugly.
Tight like this.
Freak Athlete goes the extra mile when it comes to this adjustable kettlebell. It's not just quick in terms of changing out the weight, but they have a lot of extra details. You get a nice powder coat, you get a 33 millimeter handle, you get a nice big window, and you get these contours. So when it's in the rack position, it's a lot more comfortable on your wrist. Now, if you are an expert when it comes to kettlebells, that contour, probably not something you need because you've already built up that forearm strength and endurance. But if you're an occasional kettlebell lifter like I am, having those contours goes a long way to just not banging yourself up, and it just feels a lot better. And if it feels better, you're gonna use it a lot more often. Now, as far as the starting weight, you're looking at 25 pounds with this empty shell. Now, for most adult males, that's a pretty good starting weight, what most people would do, especially on two-handed movements. If you're a female or if you're a younger individual, you may find that to be fairly heavy, especially on one-handed kettlebell exercises. When it comes to kettlebells, they can get expensive very quickly, especially if you're buying each individual increment and you are ultra strong. And that's one of the beauties when it comes to an adjustable kettlebell. You pay that one price, but you get a whole range of different weights in there. Now, it starts off at 25 pounds, as I mentioned, but it goes all the way up to 70 pounds. And Freak Athlete did something really, really nice. So some of you like your freedom units, you can hear the eagles screaming. And on this side, you get the pounds. And what's nice about these is they're not stickers, they're not color-coded, it's all engraved, so they're not going anywhere. And on the other side, you get the kilograms, the metric unit. So that's always nice. You've got both options and they're clearly visible. Another really nice feature that I think shows how well Freak Athlete does when it comes to designing all of their products is the bottom has a high friction, what I'm gonna call rubber pad, which means it's not gonna slip and slide on your floor and it's not gonna scratch up your floor either. When it comes to home gym equipment, for some reason, people always want to know if they can drop stuff, if they can get all hairy-carry and climb a ladder and throw something off of a roof and have it come back asking for more. And when it comes to kettlebells, they're literally cannonballs with handles. I mean, you'd have to try to break these things. You'd have to really like climb up on a roof and throw these down on like concrete or a rock at a weird angle in order to break these. They're never gonna break in a home gym environment. It's just not going to happen. You're just not strong enough to break these things.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
They come with a lifetime warranty, but there is some small fine print that says they're not meant to be dropped. But I wouldn't worry about that. Freak Athlete, they've been around for a while. They want to be around for a long time. Their customer service is excellent. If for some reason you broke this thing and you called them up and said, hey, it snapped, it broke, whatever, yeah, they're gonna make it right. Now, if you do drop these things, guess what? You are gonna like scratch this surface up, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be an adjustable kettlebell that keeps coming back for more. Time out. If you're enjoying today's honest review, non-review, do me a solid, use the affiliate links in the description. Whether you do wanna get this Freak Athlete kettlebell or you're looking for discounted toilet paper, I got stuff down there for everybody.
Toilet paper? Who's talking about toilet paper?
We are! I've heard a number of keyboard warriors complain about the length of this pin. Apparently you guys are envious. The reality is it's never going to clip you. It's never gonna impact your exercise. It's never gonna like catch your sack and all of a sudden you're gonna be in danger. It's so barely sticks out from this kettlebell. It is purely cosmetic. It is literally never gonna impact you whatsoever in any of your lifts. I don't care what type of crazy lifts you're doing, around the head, between the legs, upside down, it doesn't matter. It's 100% cosmetic. But Freak Athlete, they want to answer all of their critics. They do a great job in that. They've got a new version coming out and you can get it free of charge. Just have to pay for shipping once it's released, I think in April. Now, what that difference is, it means it's just gonna be a little bit shorter. And I don't think it's gonna impact you whatsoever in terms of your overall experience, but it might look a little bit cleaner. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's actually two of them, and I wanna bring them up because some people would argue that they're major, and I would argue that they're minor. Now, if you look at all the marketing photos and videos, you'll notice that they're training with no weight inside, right? They're training with an empty kettlebell, in part because it's 25 pounds, and if you're doing marketing photos, that can get heavy pretty quick. But if you've got no weight inside, you're never gonna hear any rattle. You're not gonna know if there's any give in those weights. And when you have an adjustable kettlebell, you're gonna have like spaces between the weights, and that is gonna create some rattle. Now I'm gonna do a bit of a demonstration to explain to you worst case. The more weight you have on here, the more rattle you're gonna get. The rattle is there. The reality is when you're actually lifting with it, because the friction is pushing straight down on the plates, you barely notice it. It's not something that affects you lifting. It doesn't affect the movement, whether you're doing like an overhead press or a kettlebell swing. And let's see, with three pins, you can barely hear, I don't know if Mike's even picking this up. That's with 3. I think that's 6, I can't count. Yeah, you can hear a little bit of wiggle. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do this with all of them, but here we go. 70 pounds, and that's the most wiggle, but I don't even know if the microphone picked that up. Super, super small amount. Now, the other elephant in the room, cost. I hate to say it. And you know prices of everything are going up. The one nice thing about an adjustable kettlebell is that it does take the place of a ton of different other kettlebells that would get expensive quite quickly. So what's the cost of one of these? Currently, it's on pre-order. If you use my affiliate link in the description, code NOFADE247, you're gonna get this for $350 plus shipping. I know, I tell them all the time, get rid of shipping. People don't want to drop a whole bunch of money and then have to pay shipping. Even if they just said, you spend over $500, you get it shipped for free. That would have people add stuff to their cart and help bring down the overall cost. But in order to ship this here to the great state of Massachusetts, it did cost $49. So you're looking at $400 for one. You do get a discount if you buy 2, it costs $600, but again, you're still gonna have to pay for shipping. Now, if you did wanna go zero rattle, if that was just something that irks you and you wanted to make sure that there was zero sound when you're lifting, you can go with a competition adjustable kettlebell. Titan Fitness sells one and Bells of Steel sells one. They are nearly identical. You get a competition handle, which is bare steel, which tends to feel a bit better in the hand because it is bare steel, but it also tends to rust, especially if you're gonna have to keep this in your garage or ultra humid basement. Now, the catch with those is they take forever to change out the weight. You kind of get used to them and you can move pretty quickly, but it is like a process that's going to take you a minute, minute and a half to drop or add like 10 or 15 pounds. When we talk about kettlebells, the grip on the handle matters, and it matters a lot. You get something basic like this, which is like an Amazon basic one. This company's Go Fit, but they're all a dime a dozen. It's a pretty slippery handle. Not the end of the world. You can still train with it fairly well. You can go with this Freak Athlete one. This is powder coated. It's got some nice grip to it. It does feel good at 33 millimeters, and you're not going to have any complaints here about getting both hands on or using the side. This is a competition kettlebell, bare steel, and what that means is it just feels really smooth, really good in the hand. Let's talk about cost as it compares to the competition. $350 plus shipping is fairly expensive. I mean, if you only wanted to get 3 or maybe 4 kettlebells, you could buy individual ones for far less than that price point. Also, if you did want an adjustable kettlebell, you can go with Rep's version. That is a pretty well thought of kettlebell. It just doesn't go as heavy as 70 pounds. But truth be told, most people aren't going to be using the full 70 pounds. Most people like me, I top out at about 45 pounds on a heavy day. Now, if you wanted to go with the competition adjustable kettlebell, you can go with Titan Fitness. I think theirs is $215. I got that in-house and I didn't really like it that much. It worked fine, no issues there, but it rusted out on me so quick. I don't know what kind of metal they were using, but it was like literally coated in rust within a couple of weeks, and it was just so nasty. I didn't want to pick it up. You can go with Bells of Steel version. It seems like the same exact thing. I personally think it is better, but it's going to cost you more money. I think currently it's like $330, but you get free shipping. The nice part about the Bells of Steel competition adjustable kettlebell is that you've got many more weight increments. You can basically change the weight in increments as small as half a kilogram or about 1 pound. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts when it comes to the Freak Athlete adjustable kettlebell review, non-review. And the truth is, they knocked it out of the park. The biggest issue people have is that changeover period, and they fixed that square one. They fixed it. It is seconds to go from one to the other. They went the extra mile, powder coat, lifetime warranty, contours for your wrist. When you get that in the rack position, it feels pretty good, and the noise when you're using this is minimal, if none at all. And the weight's in there very, very solidly. You don't feel rattle or slop in there. Now, I know people are gonna complain about the length of the pin, but Freak Athlete is gonna be making a shorter one. And the real complaint, if I wanna complain about anything, is the price point. At the end of the day, this thing comes with a lifetime warranty, 30-day money back, no questions asked, guarantee. If you're looking for an adjustable kettlebell, I think this is going to be the one to get. It's really going to fit almost everybody's needs. I mean, especially if you're just looking for a home gym to get into shape, to get rid of that dad bod, and to just kill some calories. When it comes to buying any piece of home gym equipment, you're going to have it for a lifetime. Don't always look at the price point. $400 for one delivered is a high price point, but if it's something you're going to use and use every day or once a week even for the rest of your life, that's not a big price to pay. Don't really try to compare prices between products, because oftentimes when you go cheaper, you get something in that you just don't like, and if you don't like it, even though it lasts a lifetime, it's just going to end up in a corner, never going to be used. You're going to put it on Facebook Marketplace. Get something that you're going to use often. And if you have something where you can change the weight quickly, you're going to use it a lot more than something that you're going to have to get out a wrench and a hex thing and do all the moving. Look how easy that is.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Listen, if you're interested in the Freak Athlete, I am going to do a long-term review down the road, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Keep in mind, if you're watching this video on day one, I think it's currently on pre-order and it ships like the end of March, but by the time you're watching this, most likely that's going to be like in the past, so it's not going to be that big of a deal as far as when they're going to ship. Overall, man, they did a good job with this one, and I'm really proud of Freak Athlete for all of the intuitive engineering they're putting into their designs. If you made it this far in the video and you want to see more amazing home gym equipment reviews, check out these 2 videos. Use the links in the description, hit the subscribe button, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.